Hi everybody, welcome back to Loft Legacy. 2022 saw the release of Alex Lifeson's first post-Rush project, Envy of None. Now for anybody who thinks this is Alex's first foray into more electronic style of music, you're greatly mistaken, because in 1996 Alex released this solo album under the pseudonym Victor. Victor, that's all the album says. Doesn't say Alex Lifeson on it, even though it's got Alex's hands and face on the front. It says Victor on the back, Victor on the side, and Victor on the disc. I love this album. Now, don't forget, when this came out, I thought Rush were done. With the tragedies that were in Neil's life, and the bookend that was different stages, around this time I thought, that's it. Geddy brought a solo album out as well called My Favourite Headache, which I'll review at a further date. But I thought with Envy of None coming out, it's a good time to revisit Victor. What a mixed bag this album is. It really, it's astounding. It's very much in the Rush family. Art direction, Andrew McNaughton. Management, Ray Daniels, SRO Toronto. Executive production by Lurks. Alex actually dedicates this album to his wife, Charlene, dedicated to Charlene for inspiration, spirits and loving support, which is rather nice. So inside we have a picture of the kind of band. It was quite a fluid project, this was not a real set bunch of musicians, and I'll go on to in a minute who performed on this. And some strange pictures of Alex inside. Right, for anybody expecting to hear a Rush album, it is not. Geddy's solo album, My Favourite Headache, is very much in that Rush world. Whereas Victor is quite a really varied album. I listened to this like mad when it come out, and I've not listened to it for quite some years. I listened to it last week, and it still sounds terrific. It's quite dark, it's funny in parts, so it starts off with a song called Don't Care, and the singer on, I think, 5 or 6 songs is a guy called Edwin from the Canadian band I Mother Earth, so he covers the bulk of the vocals on this album. Don't Care is kind of a dark opening rocker. Promise is probably the most Rush sounding song on the album, very upbeat, very guitar driven. Start Today is where things get a little bit strange. Lisa Dalbello does the lead vocals and does an absolutely wonderful impression on this song of Geddy Lee in about 1976. Wow, she hits those high notes, and sometimes you think it really does sound like Geddy. She does drop it down and singing quite a deep, sensual female voice. Then she launches into this Geddy Lee type howl. It's unbelievable. It meanders through and goes dark, and it's quite a dark album. Then it's got a song called Shut Up, Shutting Up, which is Alex's wife and I believe a friend of hers having mourning about their husbands, and then they'll shout, "Shut up and just play that guitar!" And it's an instrumental with 2 women complaining about their husbands. Oh my god, in this kind of over-exaggerated voice. It's a lot of fun. Strip and Go Naked is like a good, really wide-sounding instrumental. And the big dance. And Victor's an interesting track. This is where things go very electronic. And it's rhythm. And Alex kind of talks over it in a really serious sounding voice. He speaks very quietly and narrates. And it's very much Envy of None, to be honest. So that's where there's a direct link, I think, from Victor to Alex's latest projects, and they do sit together. Yes, Alex, the singer on Envy of None, and her name escapes me. I've listened to the album a few times. May I Win may win. I've listened to Envy of None a few times. It's an album that first time you hear it, you go, interesting. The next time you listen to it, it does grow on you. This is more accessible. But Victor, yeah, a really direct link from 1996 to 2022, Envy of None. And the final track is I Am the Spirits again. Probably the second song on this that's quite in the Rush family, the Rush mould. It is on, you can get it streaming, it's not some really obscure album, even though it's just called Victor. Let me just look up on Apple Music what it comes under. Is it under Alex Lifeson? Is it under Victor? Please bear with me. Let's have a look on Apple Music or Alex Music. Here we go, Alex Music. Alex Lifeson. Yes, it's Alex Lifeson albums Victor. So it is classed on Apple Music anyway as excuse me, an Alex Lifeson album, and it's produced by the great man himself. So anybody who's enjoyed Envy of None, anybody who's a Rush fan, I would highly recommend it. And it comes from a very difficult part in Rush's history when I thought they were done. They're definitely done now. I think Rush is sensible enough, and when they retired and did the final tour, they probably did it with so much class. No other band. I know Neil, God rest his soul, wanted to go out when he could still have the chops and do everything, and they went out on top. And yes, I wish they toured the UK for that last tour, but I've got the Blu-ray, so that's the nearest thing. So I'm glad they're not forming some kind of Rush tribute band. I know there was rumours of Lee Lifeson, which would be good. I do hope Geddy and Alec make music together, and there's nothing wrong with them playing Rush music, but if it was Lee Lifeson and, I don't know, Mike Portnoy, I love Mike Portnoy, unbelievable drummer, unbelievable personality, and real leader in the prog genre. I don't think anybody wants to see some sub-Rush facsimile. If you want to see that, go and see a tribute band. I do hope Victor, I do hope Alex and Geddy work again together. And I think, they still... there was an interview a few weeks ago with Alex, and I listened to him on YouTube. And they're still really good friends, which is the main thing. And I think the tragedy of Neil's passing, I think all Rush fans, I think we're all still coming to terms with it. I think it's just hard to comprehend. We knew that the band was over, but to lose one of the three so young, pretty tough. And it's pretty. As a Rush fan, I think I find it quite a hard thing to comprehend still. That we'll never hear from Neil again. I would have loved him to go on to do some spoken word with that wonderful deep voice he had. Superb. Anyway, I digress. Victor by Alex Lifeson. Let's not just call it Victor as a standalone album. It's an Alex Lifeson solo album, just because it doesn't mention his name, apart from as the producer on the back. Who cares? Fantastic album. I can't believe it's so old. 1996. Where are the years going? But it still sounds really fresh, as it did back then. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you again soon. And goodbye.